1. Meg. Resilient. That was the word Meg Crane had been searching for. Resilient. "You're not resilient," Mother had often said, her accusing tone ringing in Meg's ears, even almost a year after her death. "You've got to learn how to bounce back. Move on." Meg rolled over in her twin-size bed, the same bed she had slept in as a little girl. Never, in her 46 years, had she been one to recover quickly from trauma or sorrow, never one to adjust easily to change or disappointment. She knew people able to withstand pressure with remarkable equanimity, to stretch, bend, and adapt to suffering with grace, with hope. She had never been one of them. Perhaps resilient would be a good word to embrace for the new year. Resilient in hope, especially in light of everything that had been thrown upside down just in the last month. She propped herself up on her elbow, the old box springs creaking beneath her spare 5'2" frame, and gazed out her second-story window at the gray gloom. The gnarled wild cherry tree in the next-door neighbor's backyard, visible from Meg's window ever since she could remember, offered a picture of resilient hope. Years ago, when Mr. and Mrs. Anderson lived there, violent winds tore through West Michigan on a balmy summer night and nearly ripped the tree out, leaving the roots exposed. The next day, neighbors gathered around it, some of them bracing the trunk upright with hands and shoulders, while others stamped the roots back into the soil again. Mother chided them from an upstairs window. They were fools, making such a fuss over a tree. But Meg secretly cheered them on. The tree always leaned after that storm, but it lived, its lopsidedness testifying to resilience, its yearly blossoms to hope. Resilient in suffering, not impervious to it. That was the silent witness of the stooped tree, not denial of the storm, but perseverance, character, and hope as a result of it. Oh, for that kind of testimony. The faucet sputtered in the bathroom down the hall, the plumbing pipes clanging in arthritic protest. Hannah was awake. Strange how quickly Meg had grown accustomed to having someone else in the house again. A ceramic floral mug on the kitchen counter, a towel draped over the rusting shower door, a second toothbrush beside the chipped enamel sink. All were cheerful reminders that Meg was not alone. Even if Hannah's presence in the house was temporary and sporadic, Meg was grateful for her company. In the months since meeting one another at the New Hope Retreat Center, Hannah had become like a sister. And not just Hannah, but Mara and Charissa, too. The Sensible Shoes Club, Mara had dubbed them. Meg, who had spent most of December in England visiting her daughter, was looking forward to walking together in community again. She needed trustworthy spiritual companions on the journey toward knowing God and herself more intimately. She needed a safe place where she could be honest about her struggles to perceive the presence of God in the midst of her fear, disappointment, and sorrow. But once Hannah finished her 9-month sabbatical, their newfound intimate community would inevitably change. And then what? "Don't you think she could just stay here?" Mara had asked Meg while they served a meal together on Christmas Day at the Crossroads House shelter. "She doesn't have to go back to Chicago, does she? Couldn't she just tell her boss that she's been reunited with the love of her life and she's going to stay in Kingsbury?" Meg didn't know how sabbaticals were supposed to work, whether there were rules about not leaving the church after taking a break. "You know Hannah," Meg had replied, "how devoted she is to ministry. I can't see her taking a gift from them and then not going back there to serve." As if on cue, Hannah appeared in the doorway in her white terry-cloth robe and slippers, her light brown, gently graying hair still rumpled from sleep. "How are you feeling?" she asked. Meg boosted herself up against the headboard. "Sorry, did my coughing keep you awake?" "No, I only heard you this morning, after I was up."